how important is that platform? I mean, if you have, let's say, 5,000 subscribers or social media shares or something like that, and you're pretty tight communication with these people, how important is it to have that 5,000 versus having 0?
Well, I could say good or bad things about it. It helps definitely to sell books, but I also know people who they grow a platform really fast and they're successful. So when they have a book, a lot of people will buy it and it'll be a bestseller, but the book may not be very good. It might just be they're really friendly and they really form good relationships with people and they're doing everything professionally. So, I mean, I don't know. You always want to sell a lot of books, so it helps. On the other hand, if you have a good book, I think it's kind of different for fiction and nonfiction, because for nonfiction, having that kind of platform, people will buy your book just because they're on your list. But for fiction, it's harder because if they're on your list, they may not like your fiction. It doesn't really mean necessarily that they're going to buy all your books. It's also harder to get people on your list if you're only doing fiction. But fiction books that are good will find their own audience because people are searching for those books really hard. Readers, they read 10 books a month and they're always looking. So if you're writing any fiction in popular genres, if it's a good book, you won't really have to work that hard, which is kind of a sign. I think
word of mouth. Really hard. I think word of mouth is really powerful in fiction, and the quality of the finished product is by far the most important thing when it comes to fiction. Yeah,
nothing else really matters. Even the story. I mean, I talk a lot about the book cover just because it helps to get you started. But even if you have a bad book cover and a fantastic story, eventually people will start to catch on. Hugh Howey's Wool, his first cover was pretty bad. I thought it was kind of funny when I first bought it. I don't know, that was over a year ago, but of course he's done really well. People read it anyway. They liked the story anyway. Most people, I think, it's going to take a lot longer to get off the ground because the first few months people are going to pass. They won't review it. You really need those initial readers to like it and leave reviews, and it just goes so much faster if you have a nice cover.
Yeah, I think the platform is really useful for, in my experience, for initial sales and those early reviews. And obviously these people they're following you. They like your stuff already, so you're always going to get a higher average review from people who already like you than you do from just the general public. And I found it to be this immeasurable asset. So I do think, like you said, going out and guest posting and doing things like that and driving them back to a website that has a lead capture and building an audience is probably long term, especially if you're gonna publish frequently. To me, and especially in nonfiction, that's been the most important asset. I mean, I release a book, I get 2,000 downloads in 48 hours, and I get, or if I release it for free, which I've been doing lately, I get 20,000 downloads in the first few days, and I get, 100 reviews. And I mean, that's an unbeatable thing to have as a weapon in your arsenal for selling books. I don't need to do the hacks.
Right. Once it's already, if you can get that many downloads from the beginning and that many reviews, it's going to go pretty strong anyway. For mine, I have another book I'm going to launch maybe in a week or so. And I have a list of about 3,000. So and I have some kind of bigger offerings, like my DIY book cover package. So it's an $87 product, but I can just tell my list, if you write a review, if you buy the book and write a review this week, then I'll make you a free member. So then it doesn't cost me anything because I've already made the product. And a lot of people on my list, they wouldn't buy it anyway. They downloaded the free package, but they're not really buyers because they've already downloaded the free package. So it doesn't hurt me to give it away. But it's an easy way to get a lot of reviews pretty fast. And I can also do like a contest or make it a game or kind of have little challenges. when I have something new going on.
Yeah, you've always been really creative. I noticed that you had a contest for who could get their review voted up, get the most helpful votes, and you actually gave away a timeshare vacation with that.
Yeah,
which
I've got a few of those, which is fun. But I bought these timeshare weeks, and I have a bunch of them, but they're kind of hard to schedule. The customer service is really bad. So, but they've been fun. Something big I can give away that I'm probably not going to use myself. So I've got a couple of those a year. I'll still try to give away.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Well, I want to talk about building relationships with other people of influence, because you mentioned something about that in Book Marketing is Dead. And again, if I look back to the 2 or 3 most impactful things in my entire career is trying to, build up a presence online. Building relationships is also up there as being very, very powerful. And obviously